It is a very good evening and welcome to Illiton Sports Centre for the NPL 3 Grand Final. The Stanmore Hawks up against the SD Raiders. Nicholas Kutniak alongside Nicola Posner with you for what should be a sensational game. The best two sides in the competition all season meet on what is a sensational September afternoon. Cold conditions after a very warm day, and this should be an absolute ripper. And Nicola, I'm looking really forward to this one.
Yeah, there's been lots of goals in the first two games between these two. A 7-goal thriller the first time they met, 2-0 the second time, both times. Victory for the Premiers, Stanmore Hawks. I'm expecting a game with lots of goals here this afternoon.
Yeah, Ernie Smith in round number 10 is when Stanmore won that game 4-3. It was a big day too. Yiannopoulos having a massive day, of course, and scoring 2 goals, and we're looking forward to seeing him play as well. And who are you leaning towards in this one?
Well, look, I think Stanmore's been the most consistent team throughout the season. They did just pip the Raiders for the premiership, and I'm going to have to go with them. They've got those 2 amazing players up the top, Jovan Blagojevic and Connor Killigan in behind him, so I can see them to probably making a difference here today. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Stanmore. I think they're just too good. You talk about the number 9. He is one of the key players in this side. Brakovic, I think he's going to have a massive game today. And that lineup, of course, for Stanmore, it's going to be Karossi, the goalkeeper, the number 1. Then the 2 in Walfill, the 3 in Stickland, the 7 Yiannopoulos, the 8 in Niski, Brakovic, the 9, Carragher, the 10, Kulligan, the 11, Awad, the 12, Chance, the 16, Seraphin, the 18, and for the SD Raiders, their starting 11, Rutherford with the number 1, of course, the goalkeeper, Irwin, 2, Marjanovic, the 3, Letta, the 5, Bitter, the 7, Rati, the 8, Smith, the 16, Abul Sahal, the 20, Pryor, the 22, and Toro Soazo, the 23, and also the number 11 in Sakawa. So not too far away from kickoff in what should be a fantastic game. And, of course, last time these two teams met was Stanmore winning 2-0. Now, last week, it was a sensational weekend, of course, that we saw the Stanmore Hawks. They won against Gladesville. Of course, that went to penalty shootout. It was 1-1 after 120 minutes of play, while for the SD Raiders, it was a little bit easier for them, a 4-0 win over Bankstown City last week. But this is going to be a tight tussle today between these two sides. Stanmore will start first against the SD Raiders, and we are underway. The grand final for the NPL 3 in 2019. And the ball comes across the right side to Walfield. He'll play it up the line. The SD Raiders let it go out for a throw on this broadcast side of the ground. What is expected to be a big game between these two sides. As I said before, Nicola, it was a very warm afternoon, but now starting to cool off. Yeah,
it's a bit windy as well, so it doesn't look like the rains will come, but definitely a change of conditions. Just as you mentioned pre-game as well, I think last week's victory was quite a surprise for the Raiders.
So Carwell able to work it to the right side. Now Bitter trying to pull the trigger. It's bounced off Stanmore. Bitter again has possession, works it back, and now we see Marjanovic working it to the right side. Again, this is in Toro Saazo. He's able to work it into the middle. And again, an opportunity brewing again for this SD Raiders side. It's back across the right side, but it's been turned over. And again, Sakawa has it on this right channel. Trying to work it back down the line. He does. SD Raiders working to the centre now, Letta. Able to work it back to the right side. So playing in their own half now. It goes back to Rutherford. And Rutherford able to work it across to Rati. And Rati again will work it across the face. So the SD Raiders just playing it in their own third at the moment. As now it's Toro Saazo able to work it to the right side. Opportunity brewing for the SD Raiders. Again we see Bitter. Able to make some good runs today. In the early stages looking to cross it in. It's played out by the SD Raiders, or I should say by the Stanmore Hawks for a throw. Remains 0-0.
I think that Sakawa was a massive signing for the Raiders mid-season. He's come over from Bankstown Berries and he's really made a difference for the team in the second half of the season. From my understanding, he's already re-signed for next year, so he'll be an important part of the SD Raiders team should they get their promotion.
Making runs as well with Bitter as well as the ball bounces down here. And Awad able to leave it back for Karossi. And Karossi now will survey where he'll go. He'll just roll it to the left-hand side. SD Raiders have some very good players We've spoken about a couple of them today, and throughout the game we will be talking about them. As now Yiannopoulos drops short of him. It goes towards Warfield. He's able to work it over halfway. But again, this is Nrati that's able to stop and work it back to Rutherford. And Rutherford able to work it to the right side. So the SD Raiders have been playing more so the possession game. It's pretty early to really have a plan up as we see the ball ricochet off Stanmore again. Brogovic, and he is one of those players that presses very high.
Well, we know last night Stanmore was pretty successful at the NPL Awards night, and they did pick up 3 awards, of course. Their goalkeeper got Goalkeeper of the Year, Blagovic picked up the Player of the Year, and of course their coach took out the Coach of the Year. So along with the premiership, it's been quite a successful season for the Hawks.
Wildfield works into the middle. Here's a chance for Carricker. At the end, works it wide. And the score remains 0-0, but you can see Carricker, he's going to be trying hard today. He's got the hairdo. I've spoken about during 2019 that there should be awards for players' hairdos throughout the year. It's one of the many quirks that I've been able to bring up, and I saw actually on Facebook a couple of days ago, they've brought up my favourite one, who's got the best canteen in the NPL.
Well, I think that one's an easy one, and I think it goes the way of Bonnerig. Definitely best Javapis in the state.
As the ball is worked back to the goal line of Stanmore Hawks, it's actually one of those interesting ones too, because I haven't actually been to Bonnerig for a while, so I might have to go out there next season for a couple of games.
It's going to be an interesting NPL season across the board. Lots of changes taking place, so I think next year is a real step forward for football in New South Wales. I'm sure we'll see lots more improved football as well.
And of course, earlier before, the 20s were won by Hawkesbury City against Dulwich Hill. It's a great performance by Hawkesbury City, and it's been a great year for the 20s as the ball has worked towards the mixer, but again, Stanmore able to work it out. Played on nicely by Warfield. Ball skied up in the air. Warfield will try to get to it. Bounces down. Couldn't get to it there, Sakawa. And now we see taking down the challenge, Seraphin, and he wins the foul for Stanmore. Yes, the Raiders towards the right of us, the fan base, which is good to see. It's Strickland, or Stickland, I should say. Works it back towards Carosi. Alward again, able to work it to Warfield. That's Alward. Play down towards here, Yiannopoulos. A foul given towards the SD Raiders. It will be Abul Sahal. He was about to take it. The referee said, come on. And it will be Nrati again. Interesting to see how they use both Sakawa and also Bitter, because you can see both of those players will be able to make runs for the SD Raiders side. It's all about working it towards that final pass towards the 18-yard box.
I think the midfield is key today for the Raiders. Those 4 in the middle really make a difference for them, and if they're on their game, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for Stanmore to get the result they need.
And also the way that Toro Sarazo is able to work up and back. Of course, the right back, he's already made a couple of runs forward today. So he's another one of those key players. And you watch this side, the SD Raiders have got plenty of talent all over the shop. The Stanmore Hawks, there's a reason why they are here in Grand Final Day and why they've been the team to beat during the 2019 season. Brogovic calling for the ball. Was beaten there, and a game played out by Toro Sarazo. It's always quite interesting when you look at the NPL 3, and of course there's not as much video as the other grades, so it's hard to sort of get an idea during a week for the clubs. Of course, they've just got to go off reports, and for the SD Raiders, they probably would have done a lot of research into stopping Blagovic because, well, he was the player of the year, so you've got to make sure you shut down the key man for the Stanmore side.
He's also picked up 26 goals this season, so I think his goal-scoring record speaks for itself. But then again, at the other side, SD Raiders have their own hitman in Anthony Pryor, and he's definitely another one to watch.
Smith taken, and Warfield able to win the ball. He goes over halfway. Warfield plays it down. It might be too deep for him. He'll try to get to it. It's been cut off at the end by Irwin. He plays it away to the broadcast side. That's good defensive read by the SD Raiders. Admittedly, as I said, Warfield probably played a little bit too hard. Nobody running on down the line for Stanmore, but they'll have possession here on this broadcast side of the ground. Here at Illidan Sports Centre in Rockdale. Headed up in the sky. Comes down, and the foul going towards the SD Raiders.
Also, I think it's important to note that Goran Ljuboja and both Chris Goroi-Baskor aren't playing today, and Chris was, I think, a massive signing for the SD Raiders this year, but he just unfortunately got injured and did his ACL early on, and Ljuboja is obviously a massive miss for the SD Raiders team in midfield. He's an important player for them. They'll really miss him today.
It's been a great year for the NPL competition as well, and you talk about next year, step in the right direction as well. I think this year's been a sensational year as the ball goes over halfway. I think one of the big things is the coverage that the NPL competition has been getting, with all the NPL 1 games, both in the 20s and first grade, being covered every week. And also the game of the week in the women's, which you've been lucky this season, Nicola, to call the women's matches. And it's been a fantastic job by yourself and the whole team this year. And it's only getting better for next season.
Well, just a quick word on women's football. The improvements it's made in 2019 have been fantastic, and I'm sure it's only going to get better in 2020 and beyond. But in terms of the coverage by Football New South Wales, I think it's a massive step forward for the game in general, just to show off this talent that we have in the NPL competition, and hopefully some of them get spotted by A-League clubs and so on and get the opportunity to show themselves at the higher level.
Spoken about the fact that, you've got such a great team, and Tony Tanous and Adam Santaros have been great during the year, with Will Gotsis and Dave McDonald, Tony Salerno, Nate Patrick, Jack Clifton also joining us throughout the season. So it's been a big team, and again, looking forward to next season already. But still, this game between Stanmore and the SD Raiders is the foul being given. Quilligan, we've spoken about him before. He's one of those key players as well. Got the captain's armband as well. Looking for a big game from him. Nawad as well, who's one of the big men, of course, at the back, as you see now Warfield trying to hold possession. The ball played out the end by Smith, and it will be a throw towards the Stanmore Hawks. Comes down again, Smith trying to play it down for the SD Raiders. Warfield again is there. He's able to work it back to Karosi. And Karosi now looking to boot this towards the left-hand channel. Can't get to it there, Carrigan. It's been a good start for both sides. You think the last couple of minutes, Stanmore have started to get their mojo a little bit, because the SD Raiders had the chances early, but it looks like Stanmore have worked themselves into the contest.
Yeah, I think this might be one of those typical finals. I did expect a lot of goals, but looks like both teams are quite cautious so far, but anything can happen in the final, so I think one goal will really open this game right up.
And that's the thing. It's all about who will be the team to get the opening goal. You think if it's Stanmore, you just worry where the SD Raiders' heads will be. If it's the SD Raiders, it'll be a very interesting contest as the ball goes up towards Rutherford. He's able to stop it. It was a regulation save. As he'll roll the ball towards his left-hand channel. 0-0 the score in the NPL 3 Grand Final. Smith again able to work it down the line. Might be a little bit too deep for let-up. And it is. Goes out for another throw towards the Stanmore Hawks. So, ominous conditions here. It's Rockdale. I am worried. Nicola, I am really worried when I see grey skies.
Well, we'll have to pull out the umbrellas if it does start raining, or just put up with the rain.
That's all right. We're built tough, aren't we? It's now able to work it on the left-hand side. It's let up. And plays it across at the end. It goes past everybody. It's going to be stopped at the end by Bitter. Bitter now outside the area. It's played off Hills, and at the end, Chance plays it out for a throw.
I think this scaffold field's how tough we are. And it's doing well holding us up at the moment. Let's hope it sticks out to the end of the game.
Yeah, it's one of the great scaffoldings, one of the great grounds. I love coming out here to Rockdale during the season, of course, and the atmosphere it does have here at this venue. A lot of great grounds, of course, the NPL, and you're always close to the action. There's now the SD Raiders, Sakawa, trying to work it across. It's cleared away at the ends by Yiannopoulos. It did touch off the SD Raiders, so Stanmore able to get the throw. Last night, of course, the awards for the silver medal. It's been a big couple of weeks for Football New South Wales. And of course, don't forget the football doesn't stop because the futsal season just kicks off tonight.
Yeah, I think we're pretty lucky. New South Wales just keeps on going, and it's a sport that keeps giving. Plus, of course, trials and friendly games start soon for all our NPL clubs as well. So the preparations are already well underway for a lot of them. But the futsal season right now is in full swing. So
as Zarate has the ball and works it back to Rutherford, I guess I ask you the question, Nicola, because you are close to the NPL club, of course, in Bonnyrigg. Is it a very beneficial thing having players playing a futsal competition during the summer?
Look, I think you have to think about the injuries and stuff from a club perspective, but in terms of players and the futsal game in the country itself, it's important to make sure it's a strong competition.
Sakawa making a nice run. He's able to beat the defender, works in the middle, but again it's shut down. We see Yiannopoulos have it now. He's able to work it down the line. Brogovic at the end. Rati able to work it back, and Rati found Rutherford, and Rati now able to have the ball again. Works at the lead up.
I think Blagovic would love to get on the score sheet today. He is one of the foreigners here on the pitch today from Canada. His family is watching there. And shout out to them watching on the other side of the world. I hope that they can see their son lift the trophy today and possibly get on the score sheet.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm good at shutting form strikers down. I called one goal game this year, and guess who didn't score? Thomas James.
Well, there you go. He found it hard not to find the back of the net, but looks like you got the magic spell.
Yeah, well, who knows? We'll see what happens. There's a game possession for Rutherford. Score in the grand final 0-0 between the SD Raiders and the Stanmore Hawks. As it's played on, but he just can't find the run again there. You can see Sakawa's been very dangerous. He tries to get possession, but again, just beats him. The Stanmore Hawks work the ball back towards Karosi. Karosi now just hoiks it towards halfway, where it's headed down by Leder. And now Leder has the ball again. Leder able to work it to the left-hand side. Bitter now has switched towards this left wing. It's cleared away at the end nicely via Warfield. It'll be a throw on this near touch line.
I think we're going to see Bitter and Smith switching sides very often in this game.
It's one of those things that you see some teams occupy, some teams don't go for that sort of route. But I guess, because you see that cleared away quite nicely, ferociously via Leonovic. I find it to be one of the great things for coaches to do the constant switching. It makes the other team be on the toes the whole time.
Yeah, definitely, and I think sometimes you need to change up, especially if things aren't really going the way you want them to. I think a switch up can make a difference in a lot of situations. So it's the first time Bitter's come over to the left in this game, so it's an opportunity for him now to run at the right back and give him a bit of a hard time.
Nikola Posner alongside Nicholas Kutniak for the NPL 3 Grand Final on the Football New South Wales Network. I don't think Tony will mind me saying this, Nicola, today, the form expert, doing a fantastic job. Great to be working with you.
Yeah, I likewise, it's our first time working together. So last week Tony, the week before Adam Santarossa. So it's a privilege working with blokes that follow the game and are well into it. So it's a good experience for all of us.
Exactly. You've worked with two of the best, and now you get to work with me. How lucky you've been all year.
Yeah, that's all right.
You get to work with the Looney for the final game of the year, but that's all right. We'll play with it, of course. It's been a great season, and again, we've spoken about how these two teams got there, and they've been the form sides. I've watched a bit of the SD Raiders over the last couple of years, and Nicola, I should say, in Nicky Carl has done a fantastic job the way he's developed this side, and there is a reason why they're here in Grand Final Day, and he's really the majority of the reason.
Yeah, look, he's obviously coming with with a pedigree, you know, playing at the highest level and playing for the Socceroos and so on. So you'd expect him to come in with his own sort of style of play, and I think he's really brought that to the Raiders this year. It wasn't easy. I know I saw them in pre-season and they weren't quite there, but obviously to be at the grand final at the end of the season, they've really done well and they've come a long way. But also, I think Ben Rollison's done a fantastic job with the Hawks this year as well. Nobody expected them to be where they were, and they've surprised many, and they really deserve to lift the premiership and be in this grand final.
As now we see down this left-hand channel, Better trying to work it back. He does. Nice little pass on Abu Sahal. Half the unit's been turned over. Now this is where Seraphin works into the middle. Trying to hold position here, Carragher. Bogovic again taking down the challenge. Referee allows play to continue. Expect big things today. Better at the moment has it as the ball is played out by Warfield. Talk about the pitch, of course, the synthetic pitch that has been used for a long time here at Illidan. It is wet underneath. I had a walk on there before, so the conditions, of course, throughout the week have been very wet around Sydney town. I tell you, it is going to be a slip-sliding surface as we see on the ground again. Culligan. In fact, there was Carragher.
And even though we won't like it too much, I think if there was a bit of a sprinkle to fall, it'll just make this game move a lot faster and get the ball moving quicker. So I think the players wouldn't mind a sprinkle whatsoever.
Exactly, as now we see Niski with possession. Works into the middle. And again, working it back is in Carragher. Ball goes across to Warfield. Warfield stops, or could work to beat Abu Sahal. Again, it goes back to Niski into the middle. This is Bogovic again. Bogovic working it down the left side. Here's an opportunity again for the Stanmore Hawks, chipping it forward at the end, just not to be. It's pushed away by Rutherford. Well, the opportunity was brewing there for chance, but just went to the left. And at the end, the keeper just pushes it to the right, and it goes out for a corner.
I think that situation right there just shows what Bogovic brings to the Stanmore Hawks team. It doesn't always have to score, you know. He's just played in a fantastic ball at the defence, and Chance went for the cheeky chip.
Now he works the corner in, Chance. It's played away at the ends. Defensive read again by the SD Raiders and Pryor. There's the ball down this right channel. Here's an opportunity. This is Smith. Now he breaks away. Smith now tries to work his way into the box. He's taken down the challenge. I think you'll find the foul will be called. Warfield by the looks of it.
Yeah, Smith is just such a dangerous player. He's got a lot of speed, and he's one of those boys that were expected to really crack it onto the NPL 1 scene, really, but he hasn't been able to, and he's just shown a lot of quality there, pinching that ball out halfway and bearing down on goal. And he's won his team a free kick in a really good position.
Again, it's been another great season of the NPL 3 next year. A lot of changes, of course, the way the system will be, and of course the way we see next season. Important thing is that this competition continues to grow, and I like the way the NPL 3's been. I've been watching it the last couple of years more closely, and I think the quality has been really good. I've watched all three grades, and you see maybe minor changes in quality, but really the level across the board has been fantastic.
No, definitely. If you look at this season, it was a battle for the premiership between 4 teams.
The ball worked close at the end. It's ricocheted off. Still an opportunity, but the SD Raiders push that wide. And also the other thing is, too, you look at that state league competition, and I watched Nepean this year in that FFA Cup qualifier against Hawkesbury City, and they were brilliant, Nepean, making it into the next week. And I think the quality's been fantastic. You look at those 4 competitions, and I look at it, and I think next season we're just going to go better and better.
Well, if you look at the top 4 or 5 teams in the State League comp, they're all teams that could probably comfortably play in the NPL 3 competition. But as I was saying, 4 teams this year, you know, Gladesville really had a great run, and they looked like the team that was going to run away with it. A few injuries and a few players leaving on holidays, as they do at Gladesville, right? It's become standard over the years. And then Bankstown City fell off late, and it was a battle between these two, and Stanmore ended up holding out and taking out the premiership.
And the other thing is, too, like, I have a lot of dealings, and I met this that with the Hawkesbury side, and Hawkesbury throughout the year, there was a lot of draws, and you speak to the coach, Dean Burtonshaw, he'll tell you straight away, we should have won this game, we should have won that game. Yes, that was a game that we should have drawn, not lost, and that shows how tight it is for a team that, you know, on the ladder doesn't look great, but when you actually look at their results and look into the game itself, they're another side that's been great this season. So you see the quality, and it's all about that luck of guess in that 90th minute or anywhere between that wins you a game.
No, definitely, and I think in the NPL 3, like the NPL 2, it's all about consistency. And if you look, a lot of teams beat each other, and I'm sure if you look across the results for a lot of the teams, you'd be shocked by some of the results when you look at the team's ladder position. But it's just a competition where really anyone can beat anyone.
What has been an interesting contest between these two sides at the moment, just filling each other out in the grand final for 2019 in the NPL 3 between Stanmore and the SD Raiders. The throw to be taken at the end by Warfield. And will drop down. It's good chest at the end and played down the line. It goes back in towards here Quilligan. And Quilligan works into the 18-yard box, but Carragher was in the right position as it's cleared away by Bitter, but still drops down. Chance able to work it in. And now, again, it's shut down. Brogovic couldn't get the right pass away, really, but still, it's won there by Stickland. And Stickland now again. Stickland driving into the area, chips it to Carragher. He's going to be a little bit too slow to get to. He tried his best. Geez, the slide was good. He actually kept it into the field of play, but eventually it's played out, and it will be a goal kick for the SD Raiders. But in saying that, geez, that is courage, and that is also a lot of skill by Carragher to get to the ball, because that was easily going out for a throw for the SD Raiders.
And I think what we've noticed in the last 5 to 10 minutes, aside from that one error from Stanmore at the back, I think Stanmore's really taken a stranglehold over the match so far, and they've stepped it up, and the Raiders are really going to have to be careful.
The grand final is now possession here via Toro Saazo. And now here's Sakawa. Able to work it back, and now it's Bitter again. You can see calling for it, but not able to see it was Smith, but Smith wants it. Now it drops back to Mijanovic. Now it's turned over Yiannopoulos. Yiannopoulos lost to Sakawa, able to work into the area, but it's headed down by Harwood, but still a chance, and it's in! Bitter's able to make it 1-0 for the SD Raiders.
And just as we were saying, the Stanmore Hawks, they started to take control. In that same moment, Bitter pegs them back, and it's 1-0 to the Raiders. What a finish. I think the Stanmore defence just wasn't up to the task there. They were a little bit all over the shop.
And what a sweet start for Bitter. And I said before, early in the game, you could see that he was dangerous, and he's proven that.
Yeah, if you look again, Bitter's switched over now to the right side. He was on the left, he switched back to the right, and it's worked for Nicky Carl's team, and they lead.
So 1-0 in the grand final, the SD Raiders, and Bitter has been the difference. It's now Brogovic sees the ball. We could see 1-1 at the moment, but cleared away. And again, this is what is good about this SD Raiders side. They know what the business plan is, and that is to make sure that they hold out this Stanmore side. Brogovic has been marked quite a bit, but now it's been turned over. Here's the chance, but again, it's over to Bar. But Quilligan had a good crack, and a good crack indeed that goes over to Bar.
I think looking down at the Stanmore bench, I think they're about to make a substitution. Someone isn't right on the pitch at the moment. We'll see what eventuates from that. And that'd be quite disappointing for them should they have to change their lineup so early in the game.
Just trying to work out who it could be. There's nobody really that I can see struggling running at the moment, though we don't know what injuries players may have been taken to the game or what could be a change of game plan as well.
Well, exactly that. It could be just a game plan change, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Sakawa able to spin around. Sakara again works into the area, but it's played away by Seraphin. Sakara again heads it back. You can see a bit of hairy carry that it is played out the ends. It will be a Stanmore throw as the SD Raiders just touched that out. Here at Ellerton Sports Centre.
Again, I think for that goal, I think Anthony Pryor's got to get a bit of a shout out too. He did really well to hold up his body, even though Awad won the ball. He did well to put himself there and make sure Awad knew he was there.
You're not wrong about that, Pryor. Very good player. It's that wing coming through from the right towards the left of screen. That will be helping the SD Raiders really in this first half. Second half will probably go in that favour of the Stanmore Hawks if this breeze does sit up. Now Arwad has clipped off heels too, so we will see a Stanmore throw. In fact, no. The SD Raiders player takes the throw, which definitely was clipped off, but anyway, they allow play to continue. Sahal, he actually nearly admitted it, is now Stickland. Able to work it to the left-hand side. Now it's in possession again of Quilligan. But nobody there. And the ball goes back towards Rutherford. And Rutherford able to just boot that towards the grandstand side. Sakawa works it back, and again it's Torres Suazo. Holds it still. And now he's working it back down the line. Score remains in the grand final 1-0. The SD Raiders better scoring the goal a few moments ago. But like we've said in this contest, Niccolo, it's really been Stanmore's favour. But the SD Raiders have been the ones to take the opportunity.
Well, I think Killigan, who we mentioned pre-game, was an important part of the team, hasn't really got involved, and that's a major problem for the Hawks.
And as we see now, a foul going towards the SD Raiders. That change right away for the Stanmore Hawks. It looks like it's going to be Worrell. It's going to make his way onto the pitch. As now the referee says go back and let's redo this free kick again. Good crowd here too for this grand final. It's been great to see. It's been supported. It's been a good day here too at Illiton. As I said, repeating the news, the under-20s grand final won by Hawkesbury City, scoring that goal in extra time. As now we're about to see here Sahal, who's short on this left. Also got Pryor there, but it'll be Abul Sahal who takes it, but he works it wide to the left, and the score remains 1-0 SD Raiders.
Yeah, Abul Sahal is definitely an interesting player. He did serve a lengthy suspension at the start of the season, and he's come in as well toward the back end for the Raiders, and he's also another one that's made a difference for them. Was looked at by quite a few teams from the NPL 2 competition, but that suspension did turn a lot of clubs off.
So now it's worked down the line again, and it's played out by Rati. That bounces over the fence, and it will be in Warfield to take the throw. And that was one throw that will be redone again. It actually slipped out of his hands. You can see this pitch is wet still. It's been a wet week around Sydney town. And going to my other field, I can tell you that it's probably moved from a heavy 9 towards a soft 7. Still plenty of... I do laugh because I'm just thinking of Tony Tanous now, who's probably watching this game. Nick, stop the horse racing references as it's cleared away, but it's probably the apt way to describe what this pitch is playing in at the moment.
Yeah, I'll leave that to the racing experts.
Oh, we're able to work it down the line. The SD Raiders able to win out here. It's Smith. Smith down the left channel, works his way into the box. Here's an opportunity looming again, but it's cleared away by the Hawks. Now it's in possession via Warfield, and now he's able to work it down the right side. Quilligan finds Yiannopoulos, who goes back across, and now Neski. This is where Stanmore Hawks start to look dangerous. Bragovic, you can see, is in the centre now, and Rati's trying to mark him.
Yeah,
the ball goes out.
Just a quick one on James Rady as well. What a comeback from him. The guy's gone through some horrid injuries over the years, and to still be playing, really hats off to the guy. He's done fantastically to be here and be in another grand final with the SD Raiders.
Yeah, and that's one of the interesting things as well. You see the talent that is playing in the NPL 3 comp, but you see that they're still playing. Like one player that comes to mind, again, from Hawkesbury City, the goalkeeper, Daniel Schwarzer. Now, I think he's 37 or 38 years of age, and he's still going. And you speak to the people at Hawkesbury City, they go, he's in his career best form.
Yeah, it's all over the league. If you look at the SD Raiders team as well, along with Bankstown City and the Glaze will ride magic. There's a lot of NPL 1 players there, so...
Substitution has been made. It looks like Yiannopoulos is the man that's been off, and Worrell does replace him, so Yiannopoulos' day is done. He had a couple of good touches, but as you could probably see when he walked off the field, he was not looking too flash. So his day sadly done, which is a real disappointment because he was showing some very good ability in this contest, as now it's Warfield.
Well, it could be a good opportunity now for Worrell to come on and make a difference and potentially win this game for the Hawks. So it's all up to him now to really step up and show us what he can do.
You're not wrong about that. And what has been a very interesting contest. The SD Raiders lead 1-0. It was Better who scored the goal. Again, we keep on harping on it, but it's been the Stanmore Hawks with most of possession. But like we've always said in the past, it doesn't matter who has got the possession. It's always the team in the other hand that always win out. And it's funny because the team that might be on 40% usually score the first goal and possibly win.
Well, look, we're heading down that way now, you know, and again, as I said before, I keep saying it, Killigan is such an important part of the Stanmore team, but Daniel Marjanovic has done a fantastic job on him and really hasn't let him breathe much in the opening exchanges of this game.
Warfield.
That was pretty nice there.
Very good player, Warfield. I've been impressed with what he's done on the right side. Now the ball worked on by Neski. Neski starting to inject himself in as well. Now Kuigan, the captain, on the left, works it on. Chance for Carricker, but he can't pull the trigger. And that is great defence because the SD Raiders made sure they were marking the man. And Carricker is key. It's Carricker again. Bragovic nearly taking the box. Raisy with a very good tackle. And now Smith is on the mission. Tries to work into the middle. Here's a chance again. Taken down the challenge prior. But now it's on the right. Again, Bitter worked into the middle. Chance looming. Sakawa back. And now a chance. Again saved, but he pulled the trigger there. Just not to be for Pryor.
Yeah, well held there by Karosi. But again, Sakawa just looks so dangerous once he gets in that final third. Real danger player for the Raiders. Now look to get him more and more on the ball.
The grand final for 2019. It is 1-0. The SD Raiders winning what has been an interesting contest. And I suppose that the confidence continues to build for them as the game keeps on ticking, as nearly Harry Carey at the back with both Irwin and Leder both going for the ball, but Leder won out on that occasion. As now, again a chance, this time for the Stanmore Hawks. Carragher, Quilligan, over the bar.
Look, there's 10 minutes to go, and I think Stanmore just need to try and keep the ball, make sure they don't concede a second, and if they get an opportunity to find an equaliser, it'd be great. But I think at this moment they just want to get into half-time looking good. Even though they're down, I think the most important thing for them is that they're still in this contest once they go into the break.
Fans watching in via the Facebook page enjoying the coverage. Of course, a couple of them already saying how good is Bitter. And what a performance by him. And they're also saying come on the Raiders. So good to see the Raiders supporters there. And there's a few Stanmore Hawks as well saying come on Hawks. So we appreciate your feedback via the Facebook page at NPL New South Wales. Of course, that is the Facebook page. So Twitter is at NPL NSW. And don't forget, you can also jump on the Football New South Wales website and the NPLNSW.com.au website for all of the information. We've spoken about it a lot this year, all the reports that come through, and the team do a sensational job. Now, it's cleared away by Arwad, but still drops down. Marjanovic having a crack, but it goes wayward to the left, and the score remains here, 1-0 SD Raiders.
I think 2020 will be an interesting season for the Raiders. They've obviously given themselves the opportunity of getting promoted by finishing top of the club championship. And from what we hear, massive works due to take part at Ernie Smith Reserve next season, a synthetic pitch coming in, updated facilities. So we should really, they should be looking really forward to the 2020 season, what it has to bring, and I'm sure if they do get into that NPL 2 competition, their aim in their first season will be to consolidate themselves at that level.
Well, that will be a fantastic place to go to, Ernie Smith. Some sensational places to go to, of course, in the NPL 3. As now we see Stanmore win the foul. Of course, great to see Illiton get the nod for the grand final as well. We've seen various locations, Valentine Sports Park at the NPL 2 last weekend, the women's finals as well. As we're about to see here, ball worked on. Carragher. Now it comes down. Ratey. And now chested down by Stanmore, so still a chance. The Hawks start on the left. Warfield. At the end, bounces once, and a regulation save by Rutherford. And such a terrific ground to play at here, Rockdale, on this synthetic pitch. As you can see, a good challenge on Ratey. Hasn't Ratey been good today for the SD Raiders?
Yeah, he's worked hard, but so's this man. He's been really impressive at right back.
Warfield, you talk about, and I really am impressed with him. He's done a lot today for the Stanmore Hawks side. You could see that he's been one of the keys as well.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of people watching this game as well from other clubs, and a lot of these players are going to try and catch the eye of teams in high competitions.
As now into the area, Worrell, and chance still looming, but again, just wasn't in the right position, Quilligan, but still alive. The Stanmore Hawks. Shot goes over the bar by Seraphin. And Seraphin there had a right old roost. A right old roost. Score remains 1-0.
I think he's going to be quite disappointed with that effort, though. You know, it was on the edge of the area. He should have hit the target from there, and I think he'll look back and he would have just hoped to have at least hit the target there and made Rutherford make a save. Instead, the ball went well over the bar. But again, positive signs, and it's the substitute Worrell that made a great run down the byline.
Of course, don't forget, you can always watch all the games of replay that are broadcasted for Football New South Wales via the Facebook or YouTube pages. There's some great games you can look back during the year. Of course, all the first grade and 20s matches in the NPL 1. You've got the game of the week from the NPL 2 and all the finals matches too in the NPL 2 season, including that ripping one that we'll get to in a second. So the SD Raiders have a chance now, but at the end it's stopped by Carusi. The one I speak of, Nicola, and I know hard on the mouth for this game when you're there.
Yeah.
That one between Bonnyrigg and the Northern Tigers.
Yeah, what a game that was. It was full of ups and downs, and that's what the NPL 2 brings as well. It's another fine competition with, I think it's a little bit underrated as well, especially a lot of the quality teams in there, lots of young players that are looking to make careers for themselves, and that was great. But at this time last week, there was 5 goals in the NPL 2 final as Hills went into half-time leading 4-1.
They're a very good side, Hills. I've said to a lot of people as the ball was played by the Stanmore Hawks, what I saw in 2017 and the heart they were showing during the FFA Cup campaign and a lot of the NPL 2 games, I said, this is a side within a couple of years will be pushing for promotion into the NPL 1, and who knows, that could be the case heading into 2020 for 2021.
Well, look, they definitely showed the quality they had throughout the whole season, but you also got to look at who's going to come in and who's going to poach their players. They're going to be a team. Now they've made a name for themselves, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to be looking at that squad and trying to pick it apart. We know that Daniel Fogarty's already gone. The goalkeeper, Catlin, is also on his way out, along with a few other players. So it's all about how they replace these players that have left or that are leaving. And it'll be quite the task for Patrick Zwanzwijk in 2020.
You're not wrong. Of course, Coach of the Year too in the NPL 2. I saw that last night, the silver medal.
Yeah, his team had a great season and well-deserved from him.
Ball played down the right channel. Opportunity again, Worrell. At the end, it's headed down there by the captain, Quilligan. Quilligan, he seems to be around the right position, but probably not getting himself ready for it.
Yeah, as I said, I think that Marjanovic has done a really good job on him in this game so far, and he's kept him really quiet, and he hasn't had that opportunity really to connect with Blagojevic, and they're known to connect with each other, and they played together obviously as well at Sydney Uni last year under Alex Epakis. So for them two not to connect, and they're major parts of the way the Stanmore Hawks team play.
I would love to be in a room with yourself and Tony Tanous, because that would be one of the great discussions of football. It'll be a encyclopedia talking to a encyclopedia.
Well, Will Gotsis isn't too far off either.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff quite well. So
Should not forget Will Gotsis as well.
along with all the other commentators and journalists we got at Football New South Wales.
You're not wrong about that. I know that the round ball experts are listening. That's why I always mention Tony Tanous. But Will Gotsis, of course, I know he's watching as well, and he's had a great year himself, and the whole team again. And it's been a great year for Football New South Wales as the live stream does continue for season 2020. And who knows what will be up next year. There might be more. You watch the space. There's now the corner taken. Stanmore looking for the equaliser. Punched away by Rutherford. It bounces down. A chance again here for the Stanmore Hawks, as now we see the shot on, but it doesn't quite work. The SD Raiders will try to stop it. That was a bad ball there by Niski. Now it's enabled the SD Raiders, though in fairness, the Hawks able to boot the ball out of here. It goes out for a throw, but that's a great read there by Seraphin.
And again, Abu Sahal showing some really nice skill there to get beyond his defender. Just a little bit too heavy on the touch.
Coming towards that half-time interval as well. Repeating the score if you just joined us, 1-0. The SD Raiders do lead the grand final for 2019. 44 minutes have elapsed here.
We can't forget either, mentioning all these names, we can't forget the one and only Mark Stavroulakis. He's really been behind this project from day one, live streaming. He's wanted to get it going for Football New South Wales for a long time. Finally, it's happened, and he's just watching this thing he envisioned a long time ago grow, and big hats off to him as well.
No, sensational bloke, and let's not forget everybody else who have played a part during the year. I also add Jess Grimer. I've known her for a while as well, and she's done a fantastic job at Football New South Wales. And at one stage, I was her boss at another medium, and now she's my boss. So our tides have turned, and now I've got to be nice to her.
Well, the media department, including Jess, really work hard at Football New South Wales.
1 minute of additional time. Better able to work it into the middle, but it's played away by Stanmore. Great defensive read. There'll be another corner. So we've 1 more minute of additional time for the first half. Put this play on the ground at the moment. In the meantime, this does not look good for the SD Raiders. And this is always something you don't want to hear. The man who's been the key for the SD Raiders, Sakawa, he's on the ground.
Yeah, look, they've got some quality players on the bench too that can come on, but if he has to come off, it's definitely not something that they want at this right at half time as well. You know, it won't be what they wanted going into the break.
You're not wrong about that. Don't want to lose Sakawa. Close to the break, but I think, and I know that there's only a minute, so probably will be in benefit for the SD Raiders. But what they're going to do, Sakawa will come off the field. They'll play down for that 10 men for a minute just to play on. And hopefully it doesn't have any adverse effect. There's Bitters on the ground as well as he gets back up.
Yeah, it's not a good sign at all for Nicky Carl's team with two of his main men down, and Sakawa's actually taken a seat on the sideline. And Bitters just hobbling away there as well.
So now the score here, 1-0. The SD Raiders lead, looking for the second goal of the game, just not to be there, still alive. This will be him prior into the middle, and the Raiders again shut down. The Hawks have it via Quilligan. It's in the middle, and now Worrell able to work it down the line. And again, Bragovic. Bragovic now beats the defender nicely. Works it back, and this is in Warfield. Warfield tries to cross it in, but it jumps off the back there of Litteran out for a throw. Quickly taken. Bragovic having to work it back. Bragovic, who's been key today. It's again, chance looming. Quilligan near the goal line, cleared away by the Raiders, and that is the whistle for half-time. So half-time in the grand final for 2019, and it's the SD Raiders leading Stanmore 1-0.
Yeah, look, it's really we're going to have to see how the medical staff at the SD Raiders work, because both Bitter and Sakawa are struggling. And if they aren't able to replace them, I think Stanmore Hawks have a chance. And the way they just finished off this half as well is a beautiful team move there. And again, it looks like Killigan's going to start getting into the game. And once he gets onto the ball and starts this attack moving forward, I think the Stanmore Hawks are going to be a dangerous proposition in the second 45.
The grand final for 2019, as I said, the SD Raiders lead the Stanmore Hawks 1-0. We'll break here on Football New South Wales. And then on the other side of this, the second half. And what a second half it's going to be in the NPL 3 grand final.
If they put you on,
NPL 3 Grand Final where the SD Raiders lead thanks to Better, who scored the goal to make it 1-0. Nicholas Kutniak alongside Nicola Posner for what is an interesting game between the SD Raiders and the Stanmore Hawks. Football New South Wales and what should be the final game of the season, of course, via the live stream and what has been a great year. Nicola, how do you see this game, especially the fact that the SD Raiders, the outsiders, are leading this contest?
Well, look, they sort of hit Stanmore on the break when Stanmore was probably playing a little bit better than the Raiders, and they scored a nice goal through Bitter, who looks like he's still struggling through injury. It looks like Sakawa has also made his way out. There were 2 late injury scares for the Raiders, so it will be interesting to see how long they last in this second period. But again, I think Connor Killigan and Jovan Blagovic are the 2 men that need to get on the ball for the Stanmore Hawks for them to have any chance in coming back in this one.
So the grand final, 45 minutes away from potentially a winner. But of course, we know how finals happen, and we could have another half an hour if we are level pegging. As we see the fans, of course, in the stands come back to their seats after getting a couple of Chavapi rolls, which is the thing you do when you go to any ground that sells Chavapi rolls, you get one.
100%, you can't miss a Chavapi roll when available.
I do love a Chavapi roll.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell on the both of us that we like our Chavapis.
Yes, we had a lot of them when we were kids. Anyway, second half is underway between the SD Raiders and the Stanmore Hawks as Arati has the ball for SD, and he'll look to play it down the line, left-hand channel. And what should be a very tough second half like we've seen in the first half. The SD Raiders will be hoping that one goal advantage, the advantage of that one goal will continue to be the case and maybe even tally up more on that bank. So, ball played out. Bragovic also playing forward, of course, which he needs to really have a big second half. He's been shut down, but also we've spoken about Quilligan being shut down quite a bit in this game, which it's been off the back of Majanovic and his great defending, and Rati as well, who's had a big game as Awad tries to head to that. He was nearly trying to audition for the Sydney Swans the way he leapt over the top of that SD Raiders player, and is now also a throw-in for the Raiders.
Yeah, I think James Rady's really done a good job on Blagovic too. He hasn't let him get onto the ball as much as Blagovic would like, but also Marjanovic's fine performance from him in midfield.
In the grand final for 2019, it's 1-0. The SD Raiders do lead. Hope you're enjoying the action wherever you may be as the wind starts to pick up a shade here.
I think the scarier thing are those dark clouds that are coming toward us. So we know our cameraman loves the rain, and I'm sure he can't wait for the rain to start pouring. He's already organised his acrobatics.
There's the injury here for this SD Raiders player. This does not look good. That might be Bitter, actually.
Yeah, as we suspected, Bitter was struggling at the end of the first half, and he's such an important player for the Raiders through the years. He's come over to the club in the last couple of years, and he's made a difference, always on the score sheet or thereabouts, and looks like that's the end of his evening for the Raiders.
Yeah, which is a shame because he's been very good. I've been impressed with his runs. He knows how to run down that right channel. He's been very good indeed. So as he makes his way off the field, repeating he was the goal scorer in this game, sadly, he wasn't able to last more than 3 minutes in this second half as we see the substitution to be made. Barco to make his way onto the field. So Barco, he's going to have a big game, I feel. I've watched him play before. He's a very good player. And let's see what he can do and what will be his keys. Now, it's the SD Raiders again on the attack. Abu Sahal trying to work into the middle. At the end, it was shut down. It's still a chance again. Barco has possession. Works it back to Majanovic. Majanovic decides to backtrack towards here. Rati, and Rati again works it to the left-hand side. And now it's shut down by the Stanmore Hawks. This is Warfield. Warfield trying to work it up the middle. At the end, Sakawa. Oh, he's been pushed off the ball. Again, he's still got it. Arwo with a good challenge initially. As now it's a chance for the SD Raiders. Barco looking for a goal. Second time, yes! Second time, yes!
Anthony Pryor. That's why he
I should
is
say Pryor, the goal scorer.
the second top scorer of the league. Great finish. Unfortunate defending once more from Stanmore. The ball didn't bounce their way. Carosi made a good first save, but Pryor on hand to tap away his rebound and make it 2-0. What a mountain to climb now for the Stanmore Hawks. Not what Rollerson wanted at the start of the second half.
Pryor, the goal scorer.
Daniel Bitter has made his way off. Barco has come on now. I think a few people expected Barco to start. He's a young player with a lot of potential. He's jogged over to the left. Smith's come over to the right. Again, that switch of sides with those two wingers.
Yeah, I went preempting there, Barco. I had him on the mind, of course. It's easy when you see him come onto the field, or about to see him come onto the field. I had him straight on the mind, but of course it's Pryor that scored the goal. Pryor, I should say, who scored the goal. Preempting what he can do.
So right back again, Wolfall. He's absolutely everywhere in this match today. Unfortunately, he's on the team that's down at the moment, but definitely be a shout for man of the match.
As now it's come down. As I said, easy to make that mistake when you've got a name in your mind. Barco now with possession. Now Barco trying to work in the middle.
I think this is really dangerous now for the Hawks too. They're going to have to open up, and should they open up, more space will be available.
Here's a chance at the end. Abu Sahal misses the opportunity.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to open up, and once this space becomes available for the Raiders, players like Pryor and Sakawa, Smith, Barco, they won't forgive, and they'll make sure they take their chances.
So now, possession here for Janovic into the middle. Abu Sahal. Now it's on left-hand channel. Marco taken down. Now taken down a challenge here. Stanmore win the foul.
I think Rady is lucky there to get away with not getting a yellow card. Professional foul. He pulled him by the shirt. And it goes without saying, Stanmore really need to get the next goal in this game to keep their hopes alive of making a contest of this.
So now we'll work towards the 18-yard box, hit it down. Sakawa. And now it is in Warfield. Shut down. Second time effort here, Stickland. And now it's played down there by Niski. And now it's Worrell. Worrell. And again, Quilligan. And now it's on the right channel. Quilligan again. Carragher doesn't drop to him. It's headed down by the SD Raiders and played out for a throw on this near side. Ball goes out for a throw.
They haven't really looked threatened so far in this game, the Raiders. There have been a few half chances, but nothing really to force Rutherford into a more important save.
Ball played out for a throw. The SD Raiders.
Blagoy just trying to rally his troops. His teammates are down at the moment. They really need someone to lift. I do believe still if they can grab a goal or do something, I'm definitely sure that they can still make a contest of this, but time will really start to run quickly now.
Sakawa wins his team a foul. Been the score in the grand final, 2-0. And now it's Abu Sahal taking down the challenge. And a foul might be called here as he's taken down.
Yeah, we do hope Abu Sahal is okay, but that was a decent opportunity there for the Hawks. They had a few players running off Blagojevic. Could have been dangerous had he been able to get that ball off, but the referees called it back and could be a head injury, so maybe that's why he did bring it back. Just a special word as well on the team at SD Raiders. Particular one man, Anthony Ioannis, worked really hard behind the scenes, continues to work hard behind the scenes, and he really lives and breathes the club. And those sort of people are really important in the game, because without them, this game doesn't tick.
Stanmore have it on the left-hand channel. And now it is in Sakawa. Able to work it on. Chance brewing. Now again, it's Pryor. And taking down the challenge there is Smith.
It was a heavy challenge.
Yep, and also we've got Sakawa on the deck as well. So we've got two SD Raiders on the ground. Now the ball will be played out. So as it's kicked away by Rutherford. And it goes into the trees. And we'll see now a throw towards here the SD Raiders.
Well, tackle on Smith was definitely a good one, but I think he just caught him late with the studs as he followed through. Which could be a problem for the Raiders if these two are injured. I think Smith, unfortunately, is injury prone, and it has been a problem for him through his career. Had he not been as injury prone, I'm sure he would have made a lot more of his footballing career. It really does look like he's struggling at the moment. It was a heavy hit.
Was indeed. Now it's played across by Stickland. Howard able to work it across, and now he finds Neski. Ball goes back to Neski. Now he plays it down the line. Stanmore on the attack. Down 2-0 in the grand final. The SD Raiders will be looking to contain this lead. It's played down. It's now possession here on the middle of the field. Chance brewing, but again shut down. Now playing it across there, Toro Saazo. And again, Saazo has it. Now it's on the left-hand channel. And again, it's played out. And it will be a throw towards the SD Raiders. 2-0 in the grand final. Can the Raiders get a third here? Now the Hawks have to play it back. Good work there by the Hawks to play that back. Seraphin, of course, having a very good game as now it goes back to Rutherford. And now in turn, it's Mijanovic. And now on the right channel, Irwin up the line. Set it up in the sky. Comes down. Smith. And now this is in Pryor. Outside the box. Tries to work it across. Here's the chance. Abu Sahal works it back to the left. Here's the shot. It's in. And this time it's Barco that scores.
I said it when he came on. He's a dangerous player to have to come off the bench. And Barco, he makes it 3. And I'm going to say that's game, set and match for the SD Raiders. I don't think Stanmore will be able to recover from this. Excellent work from Pryor on the right. Abu Sahal to find Barco on the left. And what a finish from the winger. Gave Carosi absolutely no chance in goals. And Stanmore Hawks really haven't turned up tonight. And they're making another substitution. Chance has come off. And Kumbulu's come on.
It's a Kumbulu to come on.
Sorry, Blake Seraphin's come off.
So Seraphin is off, and Seraphin's had a very good game. But when it's 3-0, Stanmore needs to look at doing something. Ball ricochets, and here's another opportunity. Pryor now looking to make it 4. Works it in. Sakawa nearly taking the box, but at the end, 1 out. And Arwood works it back to the left to Chance. Down the line. And here's an opportunity again for Carragher. Carragher on halfway, slips and slides and wins a foul.
It's a bad challenge for Marjanovic. He's lucky to get away with no yellow card. I'm really surprised he hasn't come out there from the referee. It was late.
So repeating the score in the grand final. 3-0 now. Stanmore Hawks. It's been disappointing because they've been the team to beat this season. It looks like there's going to be a loss over their heads in the grand final, no less. Which is a massive loss, isn't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected a lot more from this final. Obviously, the SD Raiders fans won't be complaining, but for the neutral, they expected a tighter contest, some more goals, or more goals from both teams, obviously. The SD Raiders have found the back of the net, and in some style as well, leading 3-0. They're on their way to lift the trophy.
Not wrong. Repeating the score. Here's 3-0. SD Raiders leading this contest. It's now Smith taking down the challenge. And now it'll be a foul towards the Stanmore Hawks.
The Hawks just can't get anything to go. It's definitely not what their coach wants to see at this game. One of the biggest games of the season for them.
Foul given. Challenge there on Abu Sahal. Now, the Raiders work the ball over halfway. Headed down. Goes out for a throw on the far side of the ground. So, in the grand final, it's 3-0, and it's been a great performance by the SD Raiders. What can Stanmore do, though, if they're any hope of getting back in this game?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Stanmore probably was just a better team by a little bit at half-time, and they went into the breakdown, but here's another chance.
And now, here's an opportunity again, spinning on the inside, trying to get the pass away, shot. That was a ricochet off, and Abu Sahal just couldn't get that in, but it's been knocked down by Stanmore, so it'll be a corner on the far side of the ground.
Yeah, as I was saying, I think the Hawks were the better first-half team. They did go into the break behind, but the second half, they haven't really got going. Nothing's worked out for them. And unfortunately, they're down 3-0. And the clock ticking.
Getting the score in the grand final. 3-0, tapped away. Now the effort that goes over to Bar. And Wayward, the score remains. The SD Raiders leading, and they've been the better side, as we know. The question is, Stanmore, can they come back? I know time is against them. 64 minutes on the clock.
We have seen teams come back in the past, but I think there's still enough time, but I think it's just not working for the Hawks. Passes aren't hitting their points and nothing's going their way.
Here we go. Opportunity again for Barco. At the end it goes wide. And even trying to push it in was Pryor, but couldn't get a foot onto it. Score remains 3-0.
Yeah, Barco has obviously been a fine injection off the bench for Bitter, and he's picking up a goal, and he's been in dangerous positions already, having been on the field for no more than 15 minutes.
Ball goes out for a throw. Brogovic back. Now Quilligan. Cleared away. Now ball drops down towards Hidniski. Carragher. Can't hold possession. Raiders have it on the right channel. Torosazo back. Rutherford up. Drops down. And now here come the Hawks again. Looking for something here. The end played down by Kumbulu. And now it's Abu Sahal. Gone back. Good ball too. I would have find here the keeper. And Karosi, it's been disappointing for him. As now, ball worked down the left channel. Can't find Carragher. SD Raiders trying to play for themselves. At the end, it goes out for a throw for the Hawks. Not much can be said, can it, at the moment? Not much can be said.
No, it's just not working for them, and the SD Raiders are really happy to be where they are at the moment. I think they're playing the game that they have to play, and it's working for them. They're looking dangerous on the break, and again, every time now they get into that front third, they look like they're going to make something happen.
Work back. Sakawa. Smith. At the end, beaten by chance. Smith trying to win the ball back, can't. Played back into field of play. SD Raiders have it. Sakawa. Down across for Marjanovic. Now it's played on by Abu Sahal. Back to Abu Sahal. And now Stanmore trying to run away with it. But the SD Raiders have it on the left.
I think that sums up Stanmore's afternoon. Can't get their passes going, and every single time they look to make something happen, it just falls apart somewhere down the line.
Sakawa. Good work there by Arwood. Arwood able to work it down this left channel. Ball eventually goes out. It will be a throw.
This man's been very quiet in the second half. Hasn't got on the ball much whatsoever. This man, Sakawa, on your screen and on the ball for the SD Raiders. He's been excellent in this match.
He's had a good game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely been one of the difference makers. Hasn't got on the score sheet, but he's been involved, as has this guy, Abu Sahal. What a touch by him.
Yep.
Flicking it over his defender. Showing great technique.
And Barco trying to inject himself as well. He's scored only 1 goal today. Mind you, I've probably screamed his name twice. That's all right. Stanmore Hawks trying their best, Stanmore, but just hasn't been their day. As now it goes back towards here, Worrell in the middle. This is where Quilligan has it. It's again to Worrell, trying to work it in. And it touches down there. Letter able to work it. And now the SD Raiders. Score remains in the grand final, 3-0. The Raiders lead the contest. As it's played down by Arwood. And again, what can they produce? And here's the opportunity again, but shut down. That is great by Ratey. He's been good.
That's what it is. That's just the extra fight that the SD Raiders have had here tonight. They're showing that determination to win every single ball, fighting for every ball.
LaRusso to come on, and coming off the pitch for the Stanmore Hawks after his shift today as he makes his way off the field.
And that's a defender coming off for an attacker.
That'll be a chance.
I think this will be an attacking move now. Rollerson really has nothing to lose and he's got it all to go for, so throwing on another player into the attacking third may help his side come away with something at least.
And a substitution for the SD Raiders as well. We're about to see coming on in Farming, and coming off will be in Smith. Great effort by Smith today. He's been terrific. And he's been great, Smith. He's had another great game. And you can see that they've stand up today, the SD Raiders.
And it's another boy that's really been through and through SD Raiders. John Farmy coming on. Been at the club for many years. A fan favourite, a club favourite. That's why he wears the number 10 jersey. Good to see him on the field again for the SD Raiders.
Ball work to the right side. Torres Arzo taking down a challenge, foul given. And now Ratey able to work it towards Abu Sahal. Abu Sahal down the right channel. It goes towards Barco. Barco in the middle. Cleared away by the SD Raiders. Now goes back towards Carragher. And now it's on the right side. Torres Arzo trying to work it in at the end. Bounces down. Saved there by Carosi. Carosi works it to the right. Hawks looking for one. Just can't pull it back.
Killigan was making that late run there. Was looking dangerous, but again, great defending by the two central defenders for the SD Raiders.
Ball worked down to Arwood. At the end, Bragovic, and the flag has been up for the first time today.
Yeah, I'm unsure he was offside in that situation as well. It was very close. Nevertheless, linesman's flag has gone up. Very close call.
Close to us for that. So score remains here. 3-0 in the grand final 2019. Now opportunity again, and Pereira, well, it went to the side netting.
Yeah, close one there for Pryor. Almost had his second of the game. This time took it a little bit too far. That one would have definitely closed the chapter on this season. It would have been the championship trophy for the SD Raiders.
So now, SD Raiders have it here. And foul called again. Can they produce here? Stanmore Hawks again. What has it? Works it to the right channel. Goes back to him. And now, ball shifted towards the left side. And this again is where we see Carragher in the middle. Bragovic on the left. He's got it. Pulls one back to make it 3-1.
What a finish from Jovan Blagojevic. This is what we've become used to this season in the NPL 3 competition. Such neat, tidy work with his feet there to get away from his marker. And what a finish with his weaker left foot into the bottom left corner. Rutherford had no chance. Is this a lifeline for the Stanmore Hawks? Not much time to go. It looks like Proya's gone down now, injured as well. But definitely a lifeline for the Hawks. What can they do with this goal?
Well, he's on the ground at the moment. I'm telling him to go off the field, Proya. And he's got a... Ooh, that is a nasty cut. The right elbow here. You can see the blood. There it is. That doesn't look good.
No, I think that may have been potentially from the synthetic pitch. That one is going to sting tonight.
Score remains now 3-1. And the SD Raiders now will be looking for another goal. Arwood trying to stop here. Sakawa again, looking to go back. Repeating it's 3-1 in the grand final. Sakawa has the ball outside the box. Stanmore trying to win out. They do. Down this right channel. The Hawks trying to work into the middle. Oh, great work. Abul Sahal. Now he tries to pull trigger. Arwood stops him, but still, it's a chance for Barco. No. At the end, the SD Raiders header up in the sky there by Sakara. It comes down. Abul Sahal can't get to it. Stanmore on the attack. They'll work it down this left-hand side, and here come the SD Raiders. And at the end, the ball's played away, and it'll be another throw for the SD Raiders.
Yeah, that was a dangerous time for the Hawks, but they managed to get away with it. They've got the wind in their sails, though, having scored a goal now, so you'll definitely see them open up even more defensively as the game ticks on. And, you know, you could hear, just on that goal as well, you could hear the SD Raiders bench telling them not to let Blagojevic shoot, but...
Well, here's an opportunity now. So here's the Stanmore Hawks. Ball goes back and across. It's played on. Again, it's cleared down, and the Raiders will have the ball once again.
Probably about 15 minutes to go, plus a little more with stoppage. So there's still time for Stanmore to do something here, but they've got to get on the score sheet soon. And they've got to get that star man of theirs, Serbian-born Canadian, Jovan Blagojevic, on the ball, scoring goals again like he just did only minutes earlier.
Ball played away by Ratey, but it's touched off the heels there of Quilligan. Now, opportunity again. Sahal, Sakawa, again. Abul Sahal. At the end, played down Sakawa. And there's the foul given towards Stanmore. And here's a push and a shove. It's on. I think he'll find Abul Sahal, who's got himself in a bit of an argy-bargy there. And this continues.
Abul Sahal, definitely, he's been one of the best players on the park. Along
Kambulu.
with...
There's the yellow card there given to Abul Sahal, but so, gotta say, Kambulu getting himself involved in the argument. We're about to see here Stavala come onto the pitch, and coming off will be Abul Sahal. Suppose that was a planned decision.
And Stavala, another player, SD through and through. It's good to see so many players coming through from their youth system into the first grade. Nicky Carl really has pushed these youngsters up, given them an opportunity. All these boys have played for this club for a few years now. Stavala, Smith, James Rady, of course, Luboya as well. So there's quite a few of them that have spent a lot of time at the Raiders. It's good to see them still here.
Another opportunity as the ball goes way wide. The score remains here 3-1. And now, there's a sprinkle. Rain might be intimate. And there it is. A couple of touches.
I think our cameraman's been waiting for this all evening. He's really excited, I can tell you that right now, looking at him. One of the best in the business, loves the rain, says he works his best when the rain pours. Used to sunny Barcelona.
Ball worked on. Barco. Now, this is Stavala on the left-hand channel. Ball work back to Stavala. At the end, the foul will be given. Ball worked into the box. Chance. Again, just not to be. They're prodding. They're prodding. Ferrara on that occasion. Rain starting to come in. This ball goes past Carragher. It will be a throw on this side of the ground to be taken via Toros Arzo. Now it's Stavala. Stavala. And now it's gone down the right channel. All right.
I think all the neutrals want the Hawks to grab another goal before the 90's up to make for an interesting finish. I wouldn't mind one personally myself.
Yep.
And the umbrella's out for our cameraman. Should see the skill on this man. Operating a camera and umbrella at the same time. One of a kind.
Ball down the left channel. Opportunity again here for Farmy. Ball goes past the goal line. It will be a corner. The SD Raiders. That rain settling in.
It's really starting to come down now.
No, that won't work.
Yeah, plank of wood doesn't do the job.
You're going to hold it for the whole time. That's the problem. It's now. It's going to be Blagovic, and ball was played out by the SD Raiders. Foul given. Stanmore Hawks looking for something. Rain continues to come down here.
It looks like Sakara is struggling as well now. Remember, he was supposed to come off. I think Nicky Cole changed his mind after Abu Sahal got that yellow card.
Barco. Ball played back at the end by Majanovic. Now, LaRusso taking down the challenge and wins the foul. Now, Stanmore looking for something here. Trying to play it up the line. There was Quilligan. And it's been touched out by the Raiders. Remains here in the grand final. 3-1. Down the ball in the middle. Head of the way by Ratey. Still a chance. Ball going into the middle again. Initially, Quilligan couldn't get to it. As now it's Barco on the run. Now works it across the face. And now, again it is Infami. Working it to the right. Barco looking for something here. Barco on the left. And it's pushed away. And now it's going to be cleared by Carosi. That rain just settling in here at Rockdale Ilden Sports Centre. Grand final for 2019 of the NPL 3. And that ball, I should say, has been played out by Carragher. Niski there.
Niski, obviously a former SD Raiders player, playing against his old team at the moment. They're having a laugh at the end. Spent quite a few years as a Raiders player at Ernie Smith.
Here's an opportunity. Barco works the cross, far post chance. But they just couldn't pull the trigger. Barco tried as now the SD Raiders give away a foul.
Excellent ball by Barco there into the box. Pryor couldn't get his head onto the end of it. Excellent cross by the substitute. He's made the exact impact that Nicky Cole would have expected of him. Coming off the bench. Something that Rollerson hasn't received from his bench players.
Now the right-hand side. Barco in the middle. Ball worked on. Goes past the goal line for a goal kick.
Not much time left now for Stanmore.
In the 3 minutes of regulation time. Plus we'll probably get about 4 minutes of extra time. Sakawa pushed off the ball. And the foul will be called.
I think there'd be a lengthy amount of stoppage time added as well. There were a few injuries in the second half. All the substitutes used as well, so wouldn't surprise me if you had 4 or 5 minutes added on. This is exactly where the SD Raiders want to be, and this is how they'll manage the end of this game.
It's all game management now, isn't it? Stanmore struggling against the SD Raiders as there's the foul. Tackle made there on Farming. Now the ball worked back. Barco. Farmy push off the ball again. Ball goes out. Looks like it's going to be a SD Raiders win. They keep on winning the foul here in this right channel. Sakawa. Taken off the ball at the end there. Was in Farmy.
Very lucky. That could have been a second yellow card very easily. The referee has let that one go.
Here we go. We're about to see additional time out of the moment. And I think you'll find we might have 4 minutes here.
Farmy is a dead ball specialist as well, so...
Here we go, 4 minutes.
Should he have a go here, I'm sure we can see something special if he decides to go to goal.
Here's the shot, and it's over the bar. Pryor couldn't get it over.
Wasn't too far at all from Pryor. I thought that Farmy would take it, but it was a pile driver. Didn't miss by much.
A chance begging. In the score in the grand final. It's 3-1. Stanmore trailing the SD Raiders. Sakawa now has it. Sakawa, can he work it to his right? Barco, the flag's up. It's gone back down. Barco works into the middle. Shut by the SD Raiders, or by the Stanmore Hawks on the SD Raiders. And now it's Arwood who has possession. Arwood able to work it to the right side. So they've still got a bit of life, the Stanmore Hawks. We're into extra time, or injury time, I should say, in the regulation time as the ball is played away. And the score remains 3-1. Throw taken. Pryor. Flag is up. Sadly not to be there, an opportunity for Farmy. That rain has gone away for the meantime.
As have Stanmore Hawks' chances of making a contest out of this one. Fantastic game management from the SD Raiders in the final 10-15 minutes. And I think they'll be lifting the championship trophy in a matter of minutes.
Who's been your player of the match?
Difficult to choose. Rady's done a great job on Blagojevic, as has Marjanovic on Killigan, but you're going to have to give it to one of the two attackers, Abu Sahal or Sakawa. They've been fantastic, I think.
Markovic couldn't get to it. It's played away, but got a foul here. And it will be outside the box.
Just over a minute left in this one. It's a little too late for the Hawks, though. Even should Killigan find the back of the net here.
It's gone over the bar. Opportunity for Quilligan. He's just had one of those off days.
I think the SD Raiders can start celebrating now. Get the champagne out. It's almost time to pop it. Full-time whistle, fast approaching.
In the premiership and the championship, of course, it's been a great year because it is the championship. It's easy to say the word premiership. It is the championship, of course.
And
the
of course,
SD Raiders.
The SD Raiders have done the double this year. They did win the club championship for 2019. And now, only seconds away from claiming the championship. This grand final victory over the
Here it
Stanmore
is,
Hawks.
whistle close to the mouth. Hawks on the left-hand side. One eye on the watch. One eye on the play. Because now it's worked on. Foul given. Still. Possession here for Quilligan. He'll take the set piece. Works it deep. Harwood heads it down. There's the whistle, and there's the grand final. The SD Raiders have won the 2019 NPL 3 grand final and are champions. And what a win. The club champions have done it, defeating the Stanmore Hawks.
Yeah, the Stanmore Hawks, 2019 premiers, just didn't show up today. It wasn't the normal performance we'd expect from them. And unfortunately, they didn't put up a real fight. 3-1 to the SD Raiders. And time to celebrate at Ernie Smith.
Presentation, of course, in a couple of minutes. Nicola Posler, great job by you.
Likewise, Nicholas.
Yeah, it's been a long season, but we'll be back soon. Football New South Wales, the team has done a sensational job. And it's good night from Illidan, but we will have the presentation shortly for you.
Three men's grand final day. Both teams deserve a round of applause to our runners-up and also our premiers Stanmore Hawks and our champions today from SD Raiders. Football New South Wales would like to thank our sponsors, TAFE New South Wales, Wholesale Trophies, and the official ball sponsor of the NPL 3 Championship Series, MITA. We'd also like to thank our host today, Rockdale City Suns, for providing an excellent venue and also the catering that everyone's enjoyed throughout the afternoon. So a round of applause for Rockdale. Moving on to our presentations, we'll start with our referees. Our referee was Craig Fisher, assistant referees Raymond Osborne and Nicholas Bucko, and fourth official Matthew Reedy. A round of applause for our referees. Now moving on to an award that is reserved for our first grade matches only, and that is the man of the match, which is determined by the Football New South Wales Media Department. And they have determined the winner of that award today is from Southern Districts or SD Raiders, number 20, Charles Abu Sahal. Now we'll move on to, as I said earlier, not only our runners-up today, but our premiers for the first grade NPL 3 men's. And I'll call upon the captain from Stanmore Hawks, Jovan Velojevic.
Well done, SD. Well deserved tonight, you guys. Unbelievable. Congrats on everything and all the best next year, huh? Boys, heads up. We have a lot to be proud of this year. We move forward and we go forward. All right? Keep it up, boys. Jonah. Angus. Blake. Pete. Ollie. Tim. Nisky. Aiden. Connor. Bird. Sam. Critter. Harry. Jordan. Vega. Vic. Ricky. Nick. Alex. Ben. Steve. Dan. Les. Marco. And come on, buddy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our runners-up today, but also our premiers, Stanmore Hawks. Now I'd like to call upon the captain from our champions today, from SD Raiders, Gorilla Boya.
It was good to be a spectator today. I guess the game was very interesting, and first of all, I want to take to the Hawks boys. Fantastic effort all year. We had to chase you for 26 rounds, and we thought we were going to chase you today, but obviously we showed up. Maybe because we had a drink last night and you blokes didn't, so gave us a bit more confidence. But yeah, fantastic season, boys, and all the best next year. To my boys, what a year. From running those hills and not being to walk for like 7 days, getting screamed at, 40-degree trips to Canberra, all that was part of this. You know, we had a goal to get promoted, win the championship in the end, and everybody was committed to the cause. Whether you were sitting in there at home, watching on Facebook, or running here like a lunatic, Toshi, he killed himself tonight. Like, it was incredible to watch. The coaching staff, planning was perfect from the start to the end. Young team, young coaching team, but very wise. I've got a lot of years up here, maybe because I watch English Premier League too much, so there's got a lot of creativity. But well done, boys. Let's celebrate tonight, huh? Bitter. Damo. Ready. Mati. Dylan. Brats. Toshi. Diego. Majan. Sean, let's go. Croyer, Charlie, Benny, who else is left? Raj, Parker, the other beater. Where's the rest of the boys? AJ, where's Chili? Later, go on. I can't see you, too short. Seb. Who? Seb, I did. Declan and Chili, they're up there, look at it. Nick, Sergey, come on, get yours.
So, ladies and gentlemen, not only our champions today, but also our club champions, SD Raiders.
I love how this process is controlled.